Look what was caught on camera at the Braves-Reds game over in Atlanta.
The Braves will honor legend David Justice with the David Justice bobblehead giveaway presented by Truist.
Live during the Braves game.
The bobblehead commemorates his Game 6 home run in the 1995 World Series. Visit Braves.com/promos to purchase your tickets and see more iconic Braves alumni featured in the legendary alumni giveaway collection this summer.
And don't forget about the Toy Story 5th giveaway.
Watch.
Okay, I'm done. CJ treating
Tell me what this is.
That's a fun one, though, that David Justice. Memory of that homer back in 95 and that 1-0 game.
What is that?
Goodbye. The Braves will honor legend David Justice with the David Justice.
It's another one of those black, wispy flying things that look like Dementors that I've spoken about on all my channels for quite some time now, and I don't know if it came out of the light or it came out of that cloud that formed. I tried to zoom in as much as I could, and the only thing you can really make out is that it almost looks like it's slithering as it moves. But moving on, there were very loud booms heard across multiple states almost back to back. The two states that these loud booms were mainly heard in was South Carolina and Massachusetts. It was first heard in South Carolina, and then a little bit later on, it was heard in Massachusetts. When it comes to the boom heard in Massachusetts, they already have their excuse together, saying it's just a meteor, bro. Meteors have become the new swamp gas. But it seems like a lot of people are not buying it, even posting memes like this. But when it comes to the boom heard in South Carolina, they messed up. Because at first they said that it was no meteor had been reported, so they said it was most likely an earthquake until the USGS came out and said no, there was no seismic activity reported, so they used their final excuse that it was a plane. But the only problem happens to be is that this boom was not just heard across the entire state of South Carolina, but it was also heard in North Carolina as well. So the final answer is that it was a sonic boom. But a sonic boom from what? They never say. Now, a single plane cannot cause a sonic boom that can be heard from South Carolina to North Carolina. But this has been going on for quite some time, these very loud, mysterious booms with no identifiable source, and it's been really ramping up between 2025 and 2026. And even when they were heard during the winter last year, they gave some kind of BS excuse that they were something called frostquakes. Remember that? But flash forward a couple days later, on May 30th, this is when we get another loud boom that was heard across multiple states in the New England area. The NOAA released this satellite footage right here showing what had caused the boom. NASA came along and said that they confirmed that what we're looking at here was a meteor exploding with the force of 300 tons of TNT. But there's a couple problems here. There's no video footage of this exploding meteor, and because there's no video footage or photos, we had to take NASA's word for it, and I don't trust NASA. Stephen Burns, a popular geophysicist, shares the same sentiment. He said on X, there are still 0 credible videos of the supposed meteor that exploded over Massachusetts yesterday. Skies were totally overcast. NASA says it exploded 40 miles up with the equivalent energy of 300 tons of TNT. The sonic boom is undeniable and goes east, picked up a lightning flash, light, and plasma, but that's not direct confirmation of a Bud-Light mid-air explosion. That's probably what it was, but again, we can't state that definitively 100%, as most pundits media outlets are doing, and I fully agree, except the fact I don't think this was a meteor at all. And that could just be my bias against NASA. But here's something more suspicious, as we now have multiple news agencies trying to convince people that this was a meteor by showing this video clip right here, but there's a couple problems. For one, multiple people are replying to this video saying that this is no way Massachusetts because it was cloudy and rainy that day. And two, the video is clearly AI. Just look at the cars and the poles. When people are calling them out saying that this is not Massachusetts, even though their caption said it was, they then replied with a comment saying that this was captured in Rome, New York. So since the lies are starting to unravel here, I don't think this was any meteor. I didn't think it was any meteor in the first place when NASA said it was. And on top of this, just hours before, same exact day, same exact location that this supposed meteor had blew up, a nor'easter had formed. It is highly, highly unusual to see a nor'easter form in the month of May, late May at that. Like this person said, this storm is 4 months late. Now, I was born and raised in New Jersey for over 20 years before moving to Florida, and I can't say I've ever seen a nor'easter form in late May. I mean, I'm sure they do occur. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying it's ultra rare. Then, not too long after, there was that loud, mysterious boom they're saying was a meteor. But moving on, these people in a neighborhood over in Michigan are living through a nightmare.
Do you hear that noise in the background? That's the sound of a hyperscale data center here in Dowagiac, Michigan. I'm Emma Brott with 16 News Now. Now today I've been talking to residents who are telling me just how loud this place is. Right now there's a class action lawsuit alleging that these loud noises are affecting 1,300 residents within a 1-mile radius of this hyperscale data center. A resident living just across the street from this data center tells me he's bought a decibel reader just to see how loud it is on an average day.
Right there, it's going between 61 and 64 decibels without us talking.
That resident tells me it's been affecting his wife's health and also his pregnant neighbor's health as well, giving her headaches if she stays outside too long just because of how loud it is.
Just also imagine what this is doing to the wildlife and other creatures in this location as well. But unfortunately, when it comes to these people, I don't think suing is going to do any good, given the fact that these tech giants and CEOs are doing what they want when they want when it comes to these data centers, even taking homes away from people.
Hey, you want to know something I bet you didn't know? This is the 12th junkyard in 6 weeks to mysteriously burn everything in it. Now, let me ask you a question. If you were about to take off all of the older vehicles that are on the roads and you didn't want anybody to find parts, how would you do that? If you were about to say, you know what, we don't want all these older vehicles on our roads anymore. We're going to put new mandates. We're going to make you buy cars with sensors. We're going to do all this stuff. But how do we stop people from continuing to keep their old cars? Maybe burn all the junkyards? No, that couldn't be it, right? Like, that's just too smart of thinking, right? That's conspiracy thinking, right? This is just an accident, right? No coincidences, right? Stay safe, America.
That video came from We the People 2.0, and I did not know that was happening either, and looking it up, it's still happening. Matter of fact, it just happened to a plant over in New Jersey that manufactures parts, to the point, and it kept happening to the point they had to shut down the plant. And his theory, if you want to even call it a theory, because it just makes so much sense, especially with the timing, that they want to make sure everybody either has a new car with this AI inside, or they're taking public transportation. They don't want anybody with old vehicles whatsoever. But moving on, this has happened again.
These are two separate incidents, very similar in nature, that happened around the same time, but police say it's not clear if they're related. A large response in Williamsburg. The NYPD K-9 unit, FDNY, and Department of Environmental Protection investigate a sewer at Bedford Avenue and Hayward Street after cameras spotted about 8 men entering the manhole around 1 o'clock Friday morning and reappearing around 3:40 a.m. Neighbors just as curious to find out what was happening. Around 11 o'clock Thursday night, the same thing happened in Gravesend, 8 miles away.
They show the people climbing in, climbing out, changing their clothes.
About 7 men climbed into the manhole on McDonald Avenue in Collin Place. They spent 3 hours in the sewer and emerged at 2 a.m.
They get out, they get in a car, they drive away.
Neighbors were alerted when investigators showed up Friday to canvass the area. They were told not to worry.
They climbed in the manholes, they searched, they went up and down the block, and lo and behold, they tell us they dropped their keys. I don't believe anyone dropped keys.
A DEP spokesperson says the sewers have been inspected and the infrastructure is safe. Councilmember Suzanne Schwang, who covers Gravesend, agrees it should not be taken lightly and commends the NYPD on their swift response and confirmation everything is safe. But not everyone is convinced all is well.
They just say, no, it's fine. It's not fine.
Still a lot of speculation as to what happened, but there is no confirmation as to exactly why these men entered the sewer system. In Gravesend, Brooklyn, Alicia Reed, Pix 11 News.
I don't trust the NYPD on this, not one bit, because something very similar happened to this a couple times in the past, but the one that I had spoke about, I think it was back in 2024, the one where there was a stain on a mattress, but they were building this tunnel under the synagogue. The police came out. They didn't do any investigation, really. All they did was come out there, and they had the tunnel sealed up quickly so nobody could see what was actually in there or investigate. So the only explanation given here is that a group of people went into the sewer looking for their keys. Nothing to see here. So we're never going to get the truth about what's actually happening beneath New York, especially when it comes to possible tunnels.
I wanted to bring up this before we even talk about Iran. Everybody, I mean, you broke the internet, known as Mask Man. Can you pull on your face or something for me, sir? What was going on there?
Grant, it's just a distraction from the important subject we want to talk about, Iran. And at a time like now, we need to be focused on that problem with the president. He's got a challenge on his hand. Got a
Admiral, hold on a second. You realize if you answer like that, this is going to send the internet into the stratosphere if you don't tell me what was going on. And you know I love you, and I know you're an American hero, and I don't think you were wearing a mask. But just tell me something so I can let the internet be happy, and then we can move on here.
Grant, the internet's not my problem, okay? I'm here to talk about Iran. The internet's going to do what the internet wants to do, and I'll let it be at that. But let's not lose track of what's important here, where we are with Iran.
Hold on, real quick. Can you just give me a tug and then I'll move on? Just
Grant,
one little tug.
No, you're not going to get anything out of me. I'm not going to justify any of that.
Right. All right. Just so everyone out there knows, I tried with unlike Fox News, they didn't ask you about it, which was crazy. I think there's like 60 million, 80 million views on this thing. But I'll let you off the hook, Admiral, because you are an American hero.
Now, I'm sure he's a very serious man. He's an ex-leader of the United States Navy, probably not known for jokes and playing around. But the thing is, too, I don't believe a lot of people found funny about what they saw. A lot of people strongly believed that he was wearing a mask or something was really going on with his face. They were really taken back, so I don't think the word distraction or a joke on the public's end anyway is a good way to put it. What's the big deal about tugging on your face or neck? He could have even said he's doing it to ease the concerns of the American people. This is just very weird, and it almost feels like they just want to continue playing this along for whatever reason.
Peter Thiel is not moving to Argentina because he's afraid of where America's headed. That's the story you're being sold, and it's completely backwards. He has run this play before. A few years ago, he funded an entire private city in Honduras and then sued the entire city, which we'll get to that in a second. But come on, this is not new for him. Think about it. His protege is the vice president. His company basically runs on government contracts. The man is winning. You don't flee a country when you're holding all the cards. Oh, and don't you dare start with me on this is about the California taxes. He doesn't want to pay California taxes. Grow up. If you don't want to pay California taxes, you move to Florida. You move to Texas. You don't uproot your entire family and chase down a second passport because you want to, flee a state income tax? So in my opinion, the question is, what does Argentina offer him that America doesn't? Or at least not yet. Here's the thing. President Milei is tearing apart his own country on purpose. He's gutting agencies. He's regulations. He is shrinking the state every single day. And Thiel has said for years that he thinks a democracy is inefficient, that the country should be run like a company by tech elites. But he can't do that here, okay? Our institutions push back. At least they do for now. But down there, the president is already clearing ground for him. Okay, so back to Honduras. Peter Thiel in 2017 funded an entire private city called Prospera. It has its own laws, its own court system, its own tax system. It's basically a country inside a country. And when Honduras looked at Prospera and said, I don't know if that's healthy for our country, and tried to shut it down, Peter Thiel hit him with a $10 billion lawsuit. And this tells you exactly how much he cares about this country. America was never his home. It was his platform. Men like him don't have a home. They collect them. They collect mansions, passports, jurisdictions, all so that not one single nation's rules have to apply to them. Meanwhile, the rest of us are governed by our country. So no, he's not running from America. He is no man of America. He's building the thing that comes after democracy, and he's building it in the place where it's already falling apart. And he's making himself a citizen so that no one can touch him. That's the real story. That's the story that they're not going to tell you.
That great video came from the Dre dossier, and this is basically the best way to put it, because I keep seeing people tell me that Peter Thiel is fleeing, he's scared, and he's not scared. All Peter the Reptile Thiel is doing is expanding operations in other countries.
Inside this house here in Ashburn, Virginia, the FBI said it found 303 gold bars and $2 million in cash. This house belongs to David Rush. He's a former CIA senior officer with a top secret security clearance. According to a complaint filed in federal court, Rush made several requests for work-related expenses between November of 2025 and March of 2026. Those expenses, according to the complaint, included a large amount of cash and tens of millions in gold bars, which was given to Rush. According to the complaint filed in court, during the search, FBI agents seized those gold bars, and based on the current price of gold, the estimated value of the gold exceeds $40 million. The complaint says Rush applied 3 times to the CIA, twice in 2006 and again in 2009 when he was hired. The investigation also found that he did not receive degrees from 2 universities. He also claimed he was a pilot, and that, the FBI said, was not true. David Rush is due back in federal court in Alexandria on June
303 gold bars. That's a very weird number. I'm sure it means nothing. Kind of interesting name too. Rush, Gold Rush, get it? But outside of that, there's something very odd about this story. Something doesn't sit right, even right down to his credentials. I wouldn't doubt one bit that this was an inside job much bigger than what they're telling us, bigger players involved, and he was probably some kind of fall guy.
This is the neural chip. It's going to allow us to communicate with telepathy, with people, and with robots. No thank you. I'm here at the Museum of the Future in Dubai. This right here, this system, is the first payment implant under your skin for contactless payment. There's a reason that Neo and John Connor tried to take out the robots of the future, because artificial intelligence.
Elon Musk keeps saying multiple times that they're going to do away with cell phones and everything's going to be done through the neurochip. We have Sam Alternative Man keeps saying that we are going to completely merge with AI, humans and computers. Once they do so, you will not be able to buy or sell without the chip. They will be in complete control, especially right down to your thoughts. But first, they have to make sure we are moving away more and more from paper cash, that we become a cashless society. I saw this video from Eric Moutsos over on X, and while all the writings on the wall that we're definitely heading that way, it looks like they are really ramping this up.
How is this even legal? That's what I want to know. Are you recording? Do you need help? I don't know. Do I? What? So this is a reverse ATM. People come with cash and they can't use it. They have to come here.
Correct. It's a cashless building.
I have never seen a reverse ATM. So the idea is it works just like a regular ATM, but instead of putting in your card and getting cash, you put in your cash and get a card.
But also, because it's a regular debit Visa card, you can use it outside of the building.
Okay.
So if you wanted to go to Walmart or McDonald's or Target, wherever you want to spend your money, it's just a regular debit Visa card.
A growing number of businesses will not even accept cash anymore.
Yeah, they are starting to set up reverse ATMs that quickly turns cash into a prepaid debit card to be used on the fly. And Dre Clark explains from New York City. Dre, I've never heard of this. Mitch has never heard of this. What's it about?
Yeah, you know, I never heard of it either until I read about it last night. It's relatively new, but it's slowly but surely catching on. You know, cash is really still king, but reverse ATMs are definitely the way of the future as more businesses look for ways to go cashless. Here at Madison Square Garden in Midtown Manhattan, they already have machines inside the arena that can actually convert your cash into a debit card here. Now, here you can see exactly how it works. You load money into a kiosk like you see here, and within seconds, you can get a receipt confirming your conversion and a prepaid active card. Many of the prepaid cards are either MasterCard or Visa, and you can use them anywhere where those cards are accepted. Some kiosks may actually charge you a $5 fee for the card. Meanwhile, amusement parks, fast food restaurants, and many professional sports venues are already using the cash to card kiosk.
Because a digital currency, and this is all accepted, this is not theory, is programmable. They can program a digital currency to mean you can only spend it on certain things and you can't spend it on others not designated by the government. And it's programmable so it can only be spent in a certain area. So if you go outside of your zone, your money won't work. And not only that, it means that when you go past one of these number plate cameras when you, quote, shouldn't, you won't be able to challenge the fine because the fine will be taken out of your digital account the moment you transgress. This is what's happening.
Imagine living out in the woods in the middle of nowhere in the Appalachian region, having trail cams set up, and your trail cams captured this next to the creek on your land. Now, the OP of this photo said that they live near a coal mine, and there is a creek that runs next to the coal mine. Obviously, this is their land, so they had been camping out around this region several times, and they actually stopped camping in this area because they would hear somebody humming and singing in the middle of the night. So imagine the feeling they got when this was on their trail cam. Because mind you, this is in the middle of nowhere on private property. People don't just wander the woods at night in Appalachia. So obviously the owner of this property believes that this is some sort of spirit maybe following the creek. Because in the paranormal community, a lot of people believe that spiritual energy will flow with water. Especially in the Appalachia region, people believe that spirits will attach themselves to certain creeks and certain rivers. But it definitely looks like these people figured out who was singing and humming while they were out camping around this area. What do y'all think about this? Let me know.
That video came from Whoa, That's Strange, and there's just something so creepy about the Appalachians. But I do wonder when I see things like this, is this really a ghost or a spirit, a demon? Or is it possible that what we're seeing is some type of glitch or distortion with time and two timelines cross over for a certain period?
You know, growing up, I got the memo to keep my butt off of roller coasters. And why do I say that? Because they go way up and there's always the chance for them to get stuck. And that would mean you'd be out of luck. And this is exactly what happened to 8 students in Galveston, Texas on this roller coaster right here that goes approximately 100 feet into the air. They were stuck up there for a very long time until they were rescued. As a matter of fact, have a look at this dramatic video for yourself.
Everybody okay?
Look at this.
And then make sure that they are calm with the situation.
Calm?
There she is. They just saw her feet come out of the car.
Not
Two
calm.
rescuers brought her out, carried her down onto
And they're actually
the firefighter
facing
basket
backwards,
that's
too,
up
so
here
their heads
on
are
ladder
up.
number 1. As you can see, she is out and explained to them that it's going to
Suspended
be a while
100
before we get
feet
you
in the
down.
air.
We're going to get you down safely. Just
scary
bear with
as
us and
hell.
follow our instructions.
I may be wild, I may be crazy, but one thing I am not is out of my mind. Bless all of these heroes right here for going up there and getting them, because I would be like, sorry, it's too high. I know you're saying maybe you're afraid of heights. Everybody's afraid of heights at some point in their life. And as you get older, you start to realize that this is not for the faint of heart. And another saving grace that they should be thankful for is that the ride did not disengage and open up their seatbelts or secured devices, and this could have ended really, really bad. So I guess my question to you is, after seeing something like this.
That video came from the Jody69, and this is personally terrifying to me because I'm a person that does not go on rides whatsoever. So I cannot imagine being stuck like that in that position that high up. Now, I'm sure at the end of the day, there's nothing that's going to happen to these people given the fact they safely had gotten down, but you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen at that moment, especially when it comes to man-made technology. For all we know, what these people are probably thinking is that they're either going to come crashing down backwards or they're probably going to fall out of the ride. No thanks, I'm good.